We know that Godzilla, Kong, and the many monsters that were awoken during the events of King of the Monsters are all members of Earth's Titan species within this universe. But what about Kong's most dangerous foe on Skull Island? What are the Skullcrawlers? In this video, we will go over the super predator species and do our best to determine where these ferocious monsters fit in the vast world of the Monsterverse. Are they titans? Are they just animals? Or are they something else? Residents, this is Jacob. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to maintain your monster fix. And let's get to it. Skullcrawler, or scientifically termed cranium reptant. Get it? Skull, cranium? Are reptilian-like creatures that live in a vast system of underground tunnels and caves, sometimes referred to as the Hollow Earth. On average, they tend to be around the size of a T-Rex. But we all know that given the right circumstances that they can grow to be much larger. But not quite as big as the actual titans like Godzilla, Behemoth, and Ghidorah. Another significant difference that Skullcrawlers have when compared to titans is number of members within their own specific species. There are at least dozens of Skullcrawlers roaming on and below Skull Island, with Godzilla only know how much more in other subterranean locations around the planet. Do you like that? From what we know of the Titans, there is usually only one member of a species around at any given time. We know that there were other Gojira at one point, but still no more than a few alive at a time. The planet just isn't big enough for herds of gigantic-ass Godzillas. Kong and his family are a rare exception to this rule. The Kongs are officially titans, but in my own opinion, I consider them to be something like demigods or demi-titans, something like Hercules, just hairier. At least until whatever Kong gets his hairy hands on that will cause him to grow and become a full-on titan wrecking machine.
It's a wrecking machine!
With that being said, it's safe to say that the Skullcrawlers aren't exactly titans. But that doesn't tell us what they are, so let's get more in depth on what we do know about these critters. Little is known about them at all. They have characteristics of reptiles, maybe evolving from an ancient cave-dwelling reptile from the age of the dinosaurs, or maybe they aren't of this world. Crazy as it sounds, some people in real life theorize that the octopus could have come from DNA that was stored in a comet long ago, that struck the Earth and enabled this strange creature to grow. In a fictional world, this theory seems a lot more plausible, and who's to say if the Skullcrawlers came from space or not? One thing is for certain, however, the reptilian predators sure love living underneath Skull Island. No one knows when, but at some point the Skullcrawlers invaded the island of the Kongs, and quickly became an invasive species that harmed the local environment, killing and consuming all sorts of wildlife, growing larger and larger with every feast, and causing the Great War between the Kongs and Skullcrawlers. Invasive species in real life can indeed be monsters in their own right to the local environment. For example, in areas of Florida that used to be covered with wildlife are now eerily quiet and desolate. A slithering beast roams the land. No animal, even some as large as a deer, are safe. The Burmese python has quickly become one of America's nastiest invasive species. In the relatively short amount of time that these snakes were let loose in the wilderness of Florida, they have gone on to completely wreck some ecosystems. Enough for special programs and incentives to be put in place for hunting and controlling this snake's population. Snake bounty hunters are a real thing down in Florida right now. Hey Mando and Baby Yo, where you at? The balance of life that Kong and Godzilla craved so much was completely thrown to hell, maybe even literally. A description about the Skullcrawlers that comes from the official Monarch report created by Legendary reads, This is what the official Monarch report has to say about the Skullcrawlers. If Kong is a god of Skull Island, then here comes the devil. There may not be a hell, but the Skullcrawlers definitely come from the deepest and darkest pits of the earth within the Monsterverse. Like demons they come forth, devouring all in their way. If Godzilla and the Titans are gods, these Skullcrawlers are the servants of darkness and evil. The only question is, who or what is the devil? What threat, what disturbance lies beneath Skull Island?